My name is Megan Brame. This is Stop Sucking at Business. Let's go.
So now that we've gone through last week all of the different questions you have to cover before you become a blogger, let's talk about strategy and let's talk about diving into the most profitable niches for bloggers. I've broken this into two different parts. One is the stats on specific types of blogs, specific categories of blogs, and the other one is industry related. And I'll get to why that changes once we get to that part. But for right now, I want to cover statistically with data the most successful niches for blogs by category. And I'm going to link all of my sources below so that you can check them out too. But let's get into it. Number one, the most profitable, food blogs. Food bloggers make an average of $9,169 per month. Caveat, the most successful bloggers don't feel like you're going to make $9,000 a month right out the gate with your string cheese recipe. It's not going to happen. It's a very slow burn. But data-wise, food blogs tend to make the most amount of money. If you're curious about like what you could be as a food blogger, I want to give you a couple of ideas. Honestly, the most successful food blog you're going to have is some sort of recipe base, but the most like tippy top successful food bloggers are very niched. So that means a keto recipe blog or easy or gourmet or ancient recipes, like whatever kind of niche you can make in a food recipe blog format, I think the better off you'll be than trying to just create as many as possible. I really love the idea of ancient recipes, by the way. I know there's like a lot of food bloggers on YouTube that do that. And when I was trying to brainstorm different categories that you could become as a certain type of blogger, I was like, oh, that would be really cool to like, what are like the ancient Egypt recipes or something like that. Maybe they'll taste awful. I don't know. But in my head, it was like, oh, that's a cool idea. Anyways, sorry, ramble over. Next most profitable is personal finance. Personal finance bloggers average they average $9,000 a month. So they're pretty neck and neck with food bloggers. And different categories, subcategories that you could consider as a personal finance blogger. You could write about credit cards, all the little perks, the churning, things like that, saving money, investing money, whether it's FIRE, financially independent, retire early, or investing meme stocks or things like that. There's so many different levels of these different subcategories. Debt management, how do you pay off debt? How do you stay out of debt? Budgeting, how do you create a budget? What happens when your budget isn't working? Those kind of things. General personal finance journeys, like how have you successfully traveled the world on credit card points or paid off $40,000 in student debt? Like what was your journey, or what are you in the middle of doing? People love that kind of stuff. Or like I said, FIRE, if you want to talk about financial independence, how to quit your job that you hate and still be okay and still get groceries. Like those are all really popular topics in the category of personal finance. Next is lifestyle. Lifestyle is the third most profitable niche. And it's a big jump from food blogging and personal finance. The average lifestyle blogger earns $5,174 a month, which is still great, right? That's only over $60,000 a year. But I want to give you a caveat on going into lifestyle, because lifestyle it just sounds more diluted as a category, right? And it concerns me, bloggers who go into lifestyle, because it's such a heavily competitive area. The statistic is that lifestyle blogs account for 25% of all new blogs started. Like, That's crazy. One specific category accounting for 25% of all content written. Like, that's a lot. You're going to be in a really saturated market. You can still be successful if, the average blogger is earning $5,000 a month, but I just want to give you that perspective before you decide to go into lifestyle. Now, a couple of popular subcategories in that are mommy blogs, fitness, personal wellness, crafting, DIY, home decor, thrifting and shopping, that kind of stuff. It's separate from food. Food is its own category, but it kind of encompasses a lot of similar niche, parallel interests. Finally, the fourth most popular niche is travel blogs. Travel bloggers earn an average of $5,000 a month, and I think that that's really cool, especially because there's a statistic I'm going to tell you in another article or another video that talks about how important travel blogging is for U.S. travelers. I'm just going to spoil it for you right now. 1/3 of U.S. travelers rely on travel-related blogs to make their decisions on what to do and where to go. So it's an incredibly loyal, it has a very active community behind it, and it can be lucrative, especially when you're traveling for your work, I guess I'm going to Bali this week. Fine. So I think that there are some interesting perks that are related to travel blogging if that's the route you want to go. So a couple of subcategories for travel blogging could be a local guide and talk about the stuff that happens in your town. If you don't want to travel that far, you can go to exotic locations if that's more your thing. And I don't think you can really get a lot of sponsorships for that until you really, get set going, but it's still a nice reason to travel. You can specialize in the way people travel. So family vacations versus solo vacations versus solo women travelers versus Gen Z boomers, you can fit a demographic and fulfill the need that answers questions they have about what are the safest places for a young woman to travel to? What are the places that you can take a kid? What are the adult only vacation spots? Those kind of subcategories of travel are very popular and are a great way to establish yourself as an authority in a certain subcategory. And then you can kind of do ones that are in a parallel to personal finance. You can do budgeting for travel, deals that you find traveling, ways to do travel cheaply, or you could also do organization and packing ideas for travel, backpacker's guide to Hawaii or something like that. There are different subcategories that are especially popular that can really help your blog brand stand apart. Okay, so part 2 of this is a little bit more high level, and it's giving you an overview of certain industries that are lucrative. So this isn't necessarily specific to blogs, but it's a good way to think about different categories if food, personal finance, lifestyle, or travel aren't really for you. So I want to give you some really good numbers to think about when thinking about what a profitable niche for your blog is going to be. And these are numbers that are for the valuation in 2021. So first is arts and crafts. Arts and crafts is a $35 billion industry. And so I hope that kind of gives you an idea of what I'm trying to go for here and show you that these are categories that have potentially incredibly lucrative areas for content that is done strategically. Next is home decor. Home decor is a $181.5 billion industry. Gardening is valued at $88.1 billion. Digital marketing, $155.3 billion every year. Blogging / making money online, which is different from digital marketing, I found. But I guess that kind of makes sense. This category, so blogging about blogging, or blogging about how to make money online. Are you ready? $412.88 billion industry. Holy crap. It pays to talk about how to make money. That's insane. Gaming. The gaming industry is worth $197 billion. Health and wellness. I don't even know if I know how to say this number correctly, so you'll have to forgive me. $4,436.1 billion industry. Wow. And last but not least, by far, is tech. Tech is a $1.6 trillion industry. Now again, that is not all content related, obviously, but it gives you some perspective into how valuable these categories and niches can be for a very strategic blogger who knows what they're into, like you. So I hope that was helpful. Next couple of videos, we're going to be talking about how you make money and some really good stats that can help you make actionable decisions on how to optimize your blog as best as possible. I will see you in the next video.